I'm Sam. I'm very excited to be here giving a speech. All right, how many of you have a best friend? Yeah, assume everyone. How long have you known them? Also going to see a very long time, right? Decent amount of time. All right. RJ is my best friend. He's been my best friend for 22 years. We grew up together. Our moms were best friends. They went to high school together, and obviously that means that, you know, as they grew up, they had kids and they had their kids together, and we became best friends, and led me to be with RJ and start a family with him. So today I'm going to tell you about RJ. He's my fiance. I call him RJ, but you know, all of his friends call him Ron because, you know, he's too cool to be called RJ. And he's done a million, countless things that he's done for me, but the three main things that he's done for me is he's given me my son. He's taught me to be selfless, and he pushes me to succeed in literally everything that I do. He was actually texting me through this and telling me to calm down, and, you know, I'm going to do great and not worry about it because, you know, that's just what he does. So one of the many things he's done is give me my son. His name is Tyler. He's 3 years old. On March 26th, 2013, I took a pregnancy test. I was a senior in high school. I was actually getting ready to go work at Burger King. I was getting ready at a 4 o'clock shift. It was like right after school, so probably about 3 o'clock. Took this test. I can't tell you, I sat in that bathroom and cried. I was late to work, like probably about an hour, because I couldn't get a hold of myself. Because, you know, as you can all imagine, being a senior and finding out that you're going to be a mother isn't easy. Aside from that, my home life was a mess. My parents were addicted to drugs. So my sister, who was at the time 13? No, I'm sorry, 4. She was 4, sorry. She was very little, sorry, had the times messed up. I took care of her all the time. I babysat her, I made sure she was pretty much, I was already a mom basically, did everything for her. And my parents also told me that they constantly would remind me that there was very little trust in their relationship, so, which all of this would lead me to believe that, yes, I'm with him, and yes, I've known him a very long time, but what is there? Why am I going to be with him? What am I going to do? Because what are the chances that he's going to stay with me, that he's going to sit here and raise a kid with me? Very slim to none. You see no young parents these days who graduated high school. I don't know, does anybody know any that are still together that had a kid their senior year of high school, junior year of high school? Very, very few, right? Far between. So obviously this time was very emotional for me. I called him right after I took the test. I'm bawling my eyes out. We had just gotten our tongues pierced like 3 weeks prior to this. So I'm calling him, and he's on the phone with me trying to clean out his tongue ring, like freaking out, like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? What's going on? And then, you know, eventually realized that he had to take hold of the situation because I couldn't. And told me I needed to calm down, that we'd get through it together, that we'd do this, that, you know, everything would be fine. And in my eyes, all I felt was that I was heading down the same path as my parents, because my mom got pregnant at 17, her junior year in high school, and she dropped out. So that's where I thought I was going to go, and he reassured me that that's not where we're going to go. We're going to finish high school, we're going to do what we need to do, and we're going to give our kid the best life we can give him. So he helped me through the entire pregnancy. It's in 10 months. He would go to McDonald's for me at 2 a.m. when I just wanted, you know, cheeseburger or french fries or whatever I wanted, because, you know, pregnant and crave food. And when all I wanted to do was sit in bed and cry, that's what, you know, he would sit with me and try and calm me down. On November 2nd, 2014, my son was born, 10 months over. And I had a 14-hour labor beginning with preeclampsia. Not very easy for a 18-year-old to go through. Started out 1 a.m., November 2nd, which actually happens to be the day after RJ's birthday. He's November 1st, Tyler's November 2nd, so he lucked out because he wanted Tyler as a birthday gift. That's what he wanted. It started with chest pains and at 1 a.m. and I tried to push it off thinking, it was just heartburn or something like that, trying to let it go. About 8 a.m. it was getting really bad, so I called the doctor and the doctor said, head over to St. Mary's. Now this was 2 weeks before my due date. My due date was November 15th. So I'm on the phone with the doctor and they're telling me to go to the hospital. And clearly I had no idea. I told him not even to grab the hospital bag. Should I grab it? No, don't even grab it. I'm not having the kid yet. It's not coming yet, not time. I get to the hospital and the first thing they tell me is, you're not leaving without a kid. I said, oh, all right, that's great. So, yeah, so he goes home, he goes and gets the hospital bag, comes back. And he sat with me in the labor and delivery room the entire time, obviously, and I had people coming in and out. I had his mom, because you only have 2 people in the hospital room at a time. So I had him and my mom in with me, and my mom kept going out, and then his mom came in, and then she went out, and then his dad came in, and then he went out, and my dad came in, and we had all these people in and out of the room. I'm sitting there, I can't move because, preeclampsia, you can't really do anything. They kind of put you on all these medicines, and you can't really move. So the entire time he's just sitting with me and, making sure I'm okay, and if I start to get too overwhelmed, tell people to leave, it's time for rest, whatever. I ended up with a C-section because Tyler's heart rate was going down and we were losing him. So I had a C-section, and the entire time he was sitting there telling me, it's all going to be okay, it's all going to be okay. In the OR, they had given me a morphine drip. And they didn't tell us they were giving me a morphine drip, so nobody knew. So I'm sitting there and, you get a morphine drip and you start falling asleep. Well, he didn't think I was falling asleep. He kept thinking that, I was like going into a coma or something. So he kept smacking my hand, telling me to wake up, thinking I was dying. Obviously afterwards I was fine, and it took a while to, recuperate and everything, but all was good. Baby's healthy, mama's healthy, everything was fine. So not only did he give me my son, that was just a big chunk of it, but he gave me the power to be selfless. RJ is the most selfless person I know. He is the person in my life that puts everything above himself, puts everyone above himself. He put, even before Tyler, he put us above him, above everything. Before, when I was pregnant, he gave me the option, he said, do you want to work or do you want to stay home? And, I wanted to work, but I also wanted, it's back and forth. I wanted to stay home a lot too, because, it's a new baby, it's your first kid, you want to stay home, you want to be with them, you want to be a big part of their lives. So I ended up staying home with him after he was born, but he ended up moving in with me and my parents in June 16th, 2014. He ended up moving in with me the day after he graduated. Literally the day of his graduation, we went to his house, got his stuff, and he moved in with me. 3 months after that, right before Tyler was born, the month before in October, we moved into our own apartment. So we weren't even around anybody when I was having these chest pains or problems or anything like that. We just, had to go. Had to let everybody know, meet us at the hospital. He worked 6 to 7 days a week to try and make ends meet, to make sure that I could stay home. He wanted me to stay home with Tyler. He came from a very traditional household where dad worked, made $1 million, and literally, dad's 6-figure salary. And mom stayed home with 4 kids and, did all the housework and the cleaning and the cooking and this and that. Very traditional. So that's what he wanted me to do. He wanted me to stay home, wanted me to do exactly as his family did. So he felt like at one point that he wasn't making enough money when we were living on our own. So he switched jobs 2 times within about a year to make more money, to make sure that we had, more money. 18 years old, it's very hard to make a decent livable wage, especially when one of you isn't working. And I thank him every day for giving me the opportunity to work that hard. And allow me to be home with my son for as long as I was. So this is how RJ was selfless. He taught me to be selfless. Now I'm going to tell you about how he pushes me to succeed. He pushes me to be the best and do everything that I want to do, everything that I can do. He tells me constantly that I can do it. Like I said earlier, he was on the phone telling me that, everything's going to be fine and you can do it. I went back to work in February of 2016, so that's a year and 3 months after my son was born. So from the entire time, I started working at Just Children Child Care Center. It's where I started working afterwards. And obviously he told me, you don't need to work, you can stay home, whatever. While I was at Just Children, I started going back to school. Which is how I ended up here taking classes. I was a teacher's aide. I was only working 4 hours. I was working 2:30 to 6 at night. And my son came with me. He went into the toddler room at the time. And he kept telling me that, you can do more. So I'm going to school 2:30 to 6, and I'm going to school. Going to work and going to school. At one point, he decided that this wasn't enough, that I can do more. And he's constantly telling me, you're doing so well at this, why are you only an aide? Why aren't you an assistant? Why aren't you working the full day? Why aren't you being a lead? Why aren't you doing, all these questions about why I'm not pushing to do more, after he saw that I was clearly getting bored at being an aide. It's a very boring job. You just sit around, it's like babysitting. So, since he told me I can do better, I ended up getting a teaching assistant job at Hope Lutheran Church, which is where I'm at now. And I was a full-time teacher as of November of last year. November of 2016. Then, he's constantly telling me, well, you're an assistant. What are you doing? You're getting through. You have your certificate, because I did my certificate first and then went into my associates. So you have your certificate. What are you doing? Why aren't you an assistant teacher? Or why aren't you a lead? Why aren't you a lead? So, told me I'm organized, I'm indispensable, I'm this, I'm that. My boss always comes to me and asks me to help her with things. If, I'm, in a sense, go-to for problems and things like that. So I went to her and I asked her, I want to be a lead teacher. We had openings. I want the next lead. Right off the bat, yeah, okay, we can do that. Okay. Stressing myself out, all worried, and that's it. All right, I'll take it. Fine. Sounds good. So, which is how I'm ending up being a lead teacher as of June 8th, as of next week. I get my lead teaching room. I get the 3-year-olds. I'm very excited. So, when I was going through my certificate and associates, he was telling me that, he would work less. He would stay home with the baby while I go to school, so that I had the opportunity to further my education. And he's a carpenter. He does not believe in college. It's the last thing he wants to do. The last thing he wants to do is step foot into another school after he already stepped foot out of the school. He graduated from Bucks County Technical School for carpentry. So he wants nothing to do with it. But he's telling me, you need to go and do it. This is what you need to do. You want to be a teacher. You need to go to school. You need to do this. So even though there's no school for him, he still pushes me to go. He wants me to go, wants to make sure that I'm doing everything that I can do. Even today, he's telling me that once I finish my associates here, to go for my bachelor's at Temple. So, RJ has done many things for me. He's given me my son and taught me to learn from my parents' mistakes instead of repeating them, as well as, how to raise a kid, because teaching me how to look at bad situations and turn them around. He's taught me to be selfless, how to care for others, how to help them ahead of myself first. And he pushes me to achieve everything that I can do. He builds my confidence. So RJ is my best friend, and he's been for as long as I can remember. And I hope everyone here's best friend that you all told me that you had in the beginning has a best friend like that, somebody who pushes you and helps you achieve and do great things. And I think that was the end.
Thank you.